Hi, I'm Jason Loughlin. This is home recording for guitarists presented on the UA Apollo. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use reverb plugins. I'll show you how to get a good spring reverb, how to use plate reverb, and how to combine these with our room plugins to get a really nice guitar sound. Okay, now I want to show you a couple different reverb settings that I really like and how to tweak them to make them your own. So let's go over here to Inserts. I'm going to click on this first slot. And I'm going to go down here to Reverb and Room. And then I have, all those great rooms and reverbs to pick from. I'm going to pick this Reverb Pro. This is a plugin that comes with the Apollo. Okay, so I have a good clean amp sound. I'm going to turn this off just so you can hear this. Amp on the verge of overdriving. Turn that back on. I'm going to go to presets, and I want a spring reverb. I want this amp sound to sound like it has a spring reverb built into it. So you go down here. I got all these things, different variations on a spring reverb to pick from and plates, but I'm going to pick just straight up spring. There we go. All right, so with this plugin, I can mix between spring and other kinds of reverbs like plate, or click on this button, different size rooms, things like that. But like I said, I want spring, so I'm going to go with that spring sound there. So let me just strum again, and this time let's hear what this sounds like. Pretty springy. Maybe a little too much. So to tweak this, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to come over here to this mix slider. And if I have this all the way at 0, I'm only hearing the audio source. And as I scoot this over, I'm basically bringing in that reverb sound. If I go to an extreme, just hearing the reverb, and I'm not really hearing any of the attack from the original source. So I'm going to put this around like 8. The other thing I notice is this is a little too bright for me, so I want to darken it up. Here in the resonance, it's basically a big EQ curve. So I'm going to pull down the high end and grab this little knob here and darken it up a little bit. That's a little bit better. I want it to sound a little tonally different than the attack of the guitar, so I want it to be a little darker than my guitar sound. That sounds a little better. And now, for me, it's lasting a little bit too long, so I'm going to adjust the size and the time of the decay here. Okay, I'm going to pull this back a little bit more. Great. Now I got a great reverb sound. Sounds like spring reverb built into the amp. And I could always tweak it further from there if I want less or more. But it's a good place to start. So remember, if you find a sound that you really like and you want to save it, just click here on the presets. Come down to save. Give it a name. We'll call this Jason Spring. Save it. And there it is. So this way I could tweak it more if I want and keep, go back to the original sound, or I can mess around with other reverbs and come back to that. And if you find yourself building a ton of your own reverbs, then you might want to start a whole folder, give it a name, and save all of your reverbs in there. So I showed you how to get a good spring reverb sound and how to tweak that. And we were using the Reverb Pro for that one. Now, the other reverb color that you're going to find yourself using or wanting to hear often is a plate reverb. And Reverb Pro has a lot of great plates in it. But I want to show you how to change an insert here too. So we're going to pick a different reverb plugin. So if I hover over the insert, if I click on that middle button, it's going to open up the menu again, and then I have reverb and room still selected. I'm going to come over here to one of my favorites, the EMT plate reverb. And I'm going to click off that wet button because I'm using this as an insert and not a send. All right, so a lot of the parameters are the same. In this case, we have a knob instead of a slider from a dry signal to the wet signal. We have a pre-delay. This over here will affect the length of the reverb. We have EQ on the way in. We have EQ on the way out with high and low pass filters. I'm going to ballpark this here, and then I'll play a dry guitar sound, and then I'll put the plate on. So I'm going to turn it off. Here's just my dry guitar. Here's with the plate. And then I like to do a little staccato strum just so I could hear the length of the plate, the decay, the color of the plate. Okay, that tells me a lot about the sound. So what do I use this for? Well, one of the things I use this for is for jazz guitar. I like plate reverb when I'm playing jazz. So I might bring this down a little bit. That pre-delay is fine. I might bring this back a little bit. And let's see if that's a good starting point. That's a really nice jazz guitar tone. I also use this if I'm trying to get very ambient guitar sounds. So I'll bring this up to more of the wetter side, less of the initial attack, maybe a little bit more pre-delay, and then I'll lengthen this reverb. Okay, really nice, long, ambient delay. Now I could use this in more subtle ways too if I just want to add some depth and some body to a guitar sound, but I don't want it to sound affected. I don't want it to sound like it has reverb on it. Just want it to sit in a mix a little bit better. I'll drop that pre-delay down a little bit, drop this down, and I'll shorten the length. So maybe around like 2. So that's nice. I'm not hearing it compete with my attacks, and it's not lasting very long. It's not so loud that after I play it, it's kind of at a similar level at where my attacks were. Okay, it's just adding some depth to my guitar sound. Thanks for checking out the video. My name is Jason Loughlin. Please be sure to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so we can let you know about new videos when they come out.